I've already done a tips and tricks video for War Thunder and people seem to like it, so why not give more generalized tips to play the game more effectively. Tip number 1. Start using squad markers for precise artillery placement. In the last tips and tricks video I have shown you how to use the squad marker feature. One of the many benefits of this marker is that it also shows up on the map. This is very helpful when trying to place precise artillery fire. Just aim where you want to shoot the artillery, use the squad marker and then place the artillery on the map right where your squad marker is. But be quick because the marker disappears relatively quickly. Tip number 2. Penetration is not always the most important factor when it comes to picking the best shell to use with a tank. For example, APCR rounds will almost always have more penetration than their AP or APHE counterparts. However, they are terrible when it comes to penetrating angles and post-penetration damage. A few outliers aside, I would never pick APCR as my main round. That doesn't stop me from bringing a few rounds as a secondary ammunition. Sometimes you will meet tanks that have a ton of unangled armor that you can't penetrate with your AP round. That's where APCR can save your day. Tip number 3. Using your commander sight is something that you don't have to think about when playing lower tier tanks, but once you reach higher battle ratings, it can literally save your life. War Thunder recently made a change where when in tanks with hunter-killer capability, your gunner gets killed, you have to wait about 2 to 3 seconds until the commander takes over to aim the gun. You can completely negate this waiting time by manually switching to commander sight and using it to fire the weapon. Tip number 4. Plan your grind effectively. This tip depends on what you want to play in War Thunder. If you're like me and you like high tier gameplay, you want to grind as quickly to the top as possible. Well, in some trees, you can be quite a bit faster by not researching everything. If you plan ahead, you can sometimes skip entire lines in the tech tree and research them at a later time when you have enough top tier gameplay. I could give you quite a few examples, however most of my tech trees are pretty messed up, from Gaijin giving me free vehicles or from me simply grinding a tree. But there's one example I currently have. Under certain circumstances you can skip the entire first or the third line down the tech tree in the Japanese tech tree. If you know the tech tree well, you will say, but you need all 5 rank 6 vehicles to progress to rank 7. And you would be correct. However, if you own the premium Type 16 or the premium Type 74, you only need 4 vehicles in the tech tree. There are many such instances in other tech trees, especially when some have a lot of premiums and squadron or event vehicles, because those count too. So grinding an event can actually help you out later in skipping other grind. Tip number 5. Possibly one of the worst default controls is hold throttle for web. I've seen many people that have this enabled because it comes as a default control. However, it's a horrible option to actually use. Many planes, especially in higher tiers where afterburners are prevalent, can hold web for the entire game. This means for maximum performance, you have to hold your throttle button for the entire game. Just turn off this option. This will make life easier and frees up your hand to control other things. Tip number 6. Repairing vehicles is a big part of the game oftentimes, especially after you won an engagement in a tank. You have to repair broken parts like tracks, engines and barrels. This can be sped up with the crew skill Field Repair. But did you know that the repair speed of field repair depends on the average of your crew? So the best way to level it is to always keep all crew members at the same field level repair, because the higher you go, the more expensive it will get. Thanks for watching guys, peace.